You can ask any driver right now, anybody that does Uber, anybody that does Lyft, DoorDash, Grubhub. Hell, you could ask any employee, especially entry level employee. A lot of people just got laid off, but you can ask literally anybody right now, what do they want in terms of pay, hourly pay? And most people, I would say almost 100% of people, want $30 an hour. That is a good number for most people. Now, if you're in California or New York, then obviously it changes because y'all cost of living is crazy. That's not normal. Y'all market is just stupid. But, in normal places, $30 an hour is pretty good. Let's be honest, most jobs are not paying $30 an hour. In fact, most jobs aren't even paying $20 an hour. Especially when you talk about entry-level jobs that you could literally walk in off the street and start working tomorrow. Most jobs are not paying $20 an hour. Again, outside of California and New York. Most jobs. Now, I know you're going to tell me about the one job, I know everybody has this one particular job that is paying over $20 an hour, but most jobs are not. Whether or not you want to admit it, most jobs aren't getting paid $20 an hour. And then when you talk about $30 an hour, you can't just walk off the street and go get that, especially not at an entry-level job. You usually have to have a degree. You usually have to have some experience behind you. Got to have licenses and stuff like that. You usually have to have certifications. It's usually more to it, in other words. You had to have been at that company for years. You're just not going to walk off the street and get $30 an hour, is what I'm saying. You had to go through, take a test, go through, pass the test and get your license. Like most jobs, you can't just walk, a random person, me randomly just walking in there. Hey, I see you offering $30 an hour. Let me get that job. You can't get $30 an hour. Most jobs are not going to give you that. Let's be realistic. It's just not something that's going to happen. Most jobs are not going to give you a pay raise just because you ask nicely. You could go into HR. You could know the HR person. You could know Stacy. She could be your best friend. You could have went to high school with Stacy, went to college with Stacy. You know what I'm saying? You could know her. You could know her and her children. You could know her and her husband. Like, they could invite you over for dinner. You could know all about her family. Be a part of her family. But when you come into HR, ain't no way she gonna give you a pay raise. Just because you ask nicely, you still not gonna get the pay raise. And if by some stroke of luck you do get a pay raise, it's gonna be a couple cents. It's gonna be a 20-cent pay raise. It's gonna be a 50-cent pay raise. Because you just don't get pay raises. You have to put in a lot of time. And realistically, the business has to be doing pretty well for you to get a pay raise. That's just how it works. Now, unless you're in a union, and then unions kind of fight for that type of stuff. Unless you just got a special situation, because it's really tough. It's really tough to get those pay raises. So when we talk about the normal situation, just the normal everyday situation, it's like you don't get paid more just because you want to. There's no job that's really gonna pay you more just because you ask nicely. No matter who you know, in the sense of like, they not gonna do it. Jobs pay you based on what you make them. That's the way a job pays you. So a cashier obviously is paid less than a CEO because the CEO obviously runs the organization. So he's bringing a ton of value. But this is why CEOs are so disconnected from the everyday struggle, because they don't care about the everyday struggle. They're in a completely different bracket. Their job is to make the company money. This is why, we look at CEOs as if like they're demons and the devil, and, which in some respects they, we don't necessarily know their personal lives, but it's just like their position is to make the company money. They don't care about their employees. They don't care about anything else, but I need to make the company money. And if they're a publicly traded company, then I need to make the stockholders happy, because they're the ones, that's their customers, in other words. So, but your average person, they don't know the struggle of the average person. But even them, for them to get a pay raise, it's still performance based. But it's simply it's performance based on how well the business is doing. Jobs do not just pay you $30 an hour if you're just a cashier. Just doesn't make sense, because a cashier isn't bringing that much money in. Jobs aren't going to pay you that type of money if you're not bringing a ton of money in. That's the way it works. But on the flip side, and this is the cool thing. This is the cool thing about the opportunity that we all have. Anybody can technically walk in and be an Uber driver. I mean, obviously you have to have a car. Maybe kind of sort of might have a car. You have to have a driver's license. Let's say it like that. You have to have a driver's license. You should be able to pass a background check, which isn't all that stringent, because I know felons that do Uber. I know, people with crazy backgrounds that are on Uber, that drive, that deliver. So I guess I'll put an asterisk mark next to pass a background check. I guess, I can't even say you got to be a U.S. citizen, because we already know we have a lot of migrants that's able to get on the platforms and still able to work and make money. So I guess the biggest thing is you got to be able to get a vehicle. But I mean, obviously I rent. So I don't even have my own personal vehicle. If you don't know, my car got into that big accident, and I am still waiting on the information from the insurance company. All of my lawyers have backed out, and I'm just stuck in limbo. But, you don't even need your own personal car, because you can go rent. So it's like, if you're talking about the entry-level person, no experience, no nothing, you probably should have a driver's license, have some cash, you'd be able to rent a car, so you probably need a bank account, and that's about it. And then you could be on the platform. Which is crazy, right? You could be on the platform. If we're talking about Uber, we're talking about Lyft, DoorDash, Grubhub, you could be on the platform, and literally, you getting on the platform, you could make $30 an hour. Isn't that crazy? But everybody tells you so. It's so negative when you see the stuff about Uber and Lyft. Uber and Lyft aren't paying. Oh my gosh, the offers suck. Everybody's a slave. Oh my gosh, they're raping drivers. Oh man, but this is why I tell you guys, you can't just listen to people that are talking heads. You have to really think about it. You have to really look at it for yourself. if you're in a position where you need to make money for, you got a big down payment that you're trying to accomplish, you need a new car, you need money for that, you're trying to buy a house, or you just want to go on vacation for once and have money, you know, if you're in a predicament, this is the best opportunity. I mean, because anybody can do this for the most part, because we got migrants that, I mean, maybe they're not doing it the right way, but anybody can do it because they find a way. You can rent a car, which is options that you didn't have 5-10 years ago when Uber first started. You couldn't rent no car to do this. You had to have your own personal car. And when we talk about black car service, it had to be a higher tier car, so you couldn't do it with a little basic car. It was like you gotta spend some money. You gotta have a $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 car when it first started, because it was black car service. That's not today. Today, anybody can do it in almost any type of car. I think right now the restriction is 2009 or 2008 or better. 2009 or better for UberX. And then if you're doing deliveries, you could do it in whatever car you could get it, Doesn't matter. People do it on scooters and for deliveries. So it's like, what's the barrier to entry? With normal jobs, the barrier to entry is you got to go through the interview. You got to go through the hiring process, pass the background, do the assessment. Then, got to wait for everything to clear. Then, you come in for the interview. Then they tell you when your start date is. And you got to come in. You got to learn the process. They talk to you. You learn the process. Okay, now you got to wait 2 weeks before you get paid. Hopefully you got in on a good part of the pay period, because if not, then now you don't get paid. You don't really get paid a whole lot on your first paycheck. So you're really waiting like almost a month to really get paid decently. You finally get your paycheck and you just got to keep going from that point forward. But this, you can start today and still make good money. Now, obviously, what sets a veteran driver from a newbie driver? Nothing more than just strategy. Because a newbie driver is just going to accept everything. You can still make a lot of money, but you're going to do a ton of miles. So yeah, you're going to do like 400-500 miles in a day, which, I mean, yeah, you just starting out, okay, cool. But you still going to make money. $100, $200, $300, especially depending on the day. You're going to deal with a lot of traffic. You're going to deal with a lot of crazy passengers. But if we really talking about entry-level jobs, compared to this, you can start today. No experience needed. Go get you a car, go rent you a car, or go get you a car, go get you a little beater like everybody says, and you get on the apps and you work. And you just put in the time. That's it. There's no entry-level position like this. None. What other entry-level position is there like that, where you could just come off the street and basically start working? And the cool thing is, you could luck up and get $30 an hour without even knowing the strategy. Obviously working at peak times, obviously learning the best locations to drive, you can hit $30 an hour, no problem. I average $21 an hour. But there are obviously times where I hit $30 and $40 an hour, especially right now during the season. There's a lot more now in the season than it was when we were out of season, but so yeah, man, this is the perfect opportunity. This is the time to go make your money. because so many people don't realize just how good of an opportunity this is. And you don't realize it until it's gone. Don't let these people talk you out of your money. About your money, I mean, this is money that goes into your bank account. It ain't going into my bank account. Not from what you do. You gotta put in the work. You gotta get out here and drive if you're in that predicament. Now, if you good, you got money, you got 6-7 months worth of income just sitting in a bank account. You got your Roth IRA already set up. It's already fully funded for the year. You know what I'm saying? All of your bills are paid months in advance. You got your vacation paid off. You know what I'm saying? You got like 20,000 in the bank or more. Listen, if you in a good position, then this ain't for you. Because you choose if you're in a decent position. But I guarantee you, if you're in that type of position, then you probably not looking at this video. This is for people that are in a predicament and they need to hustle. So why not get out there and do it? Because the money's there. You just got to go get it. But with that being said, man, I am out of here. I done rambled. I done tried to talk. But if you're not in the Telegram group, hit the link in the description down below. Hit the link in the description. But be a part of the community. Be a verb. Don't just join to watch. Who does that? Be a part of the community. Let's talk. Let's help each other. And if you got any questions, comments, leave them down below. But with that being said, man, I'm out of here. Deuces.